quantum computing, there is your private cryptography keys, for example, will eventually be broken by a quantum machine. There is no doubt about it, right?
So Meridian 2024 is over. Thanks to everyone who came. We had an amazing time.
What do you think makes the Brazilian market specifically unique? Why is it so forward-thinking in the context of financial innovation?
And you need to have trust. You need to trust your parties, whether it be your technology providers, whether it be your custodians.
Europe created a framework called MICA that brought together 27 different states to create a clear framework of how to regulate crypto assets and their use cases. In the US, you see a lot of chaos and confusion. Chair Gary Gensler has just been on a warpath for a number of years now.
So how do you make sure that you build these systems to be quantum proofed for the future? If quantum computing comes and breaks that data, that private key, you have a problem.
The XRP token announced the exchanges that will help it distribute its new stablecoin. In a press release out on Tuesday, Ripple laid out some of its exchange partners.
Very much in a multi-chain world, and XRP will, I think, clearly be one of the winners in that. There's actually a point in time where our institutional flows represented 20, because of that, we were minting 20% of all USDC.
And if you look around the world, more people have smartphones than have bank accounts.
Entire crew is go. Enjoy the ride, pal.
You got a baggie, welcome to the party, welcome back to some more Moon o'clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra. Bullishness. Is the case finally over? Is the case closed? Did Gary drop the ball? We're gonna find out. Go ahead, throw on those moon suits, throw on those pilot shades. Shout out to the latest sub. Let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 2.4 trillion, down about 2.6% in the past 24. We got XRP currently right around 54 cents. Stellar XLN right around 9 cents. BTC right around 66, 67K. ETH right around 25 hundo. We got Flare right around 0.014. Axelar right around 77 cents. XDC right around 0.027. Songbird 006. Stronghold 004. Jewel right around 3 cents. Expector right around 0.01. Zahao 6 cents. Evernote right around 6-7 cents. We got Eleanor Terrett new according to the document filed in the Second Circuit. The SEC Gov's notice of appeal was filed the 2nd, but not docketed until the 4th. So it seems that the real deadline is actually Friday, October 18th at 11:59 p.m. TikTok. Eleanor Terrett heard back from the SEC Gov this morning according to a spokesperson. The appeal is proceeding normally in the document, so it'll be filed publicly soon. Bragg Garland House proceeded normally for an agency that makes up their own rules as they go. The J. Nelson way says, what a show. The SEC are clowns. Once again, in forgetting to file a Form C, good chance the Ripple SEC lawsuit is over, folks. Now we look on to these 3 big events for the XRP announcement and the T Corona Borealis Nova. Bragg Garland House says that's her wrap. Ripple swell. Great to close things out, chatting with crypto OG Dan Pantera about the past 10 plus years and the road ahead. The journey feels reminiscent of the early internet era, full of promises, innovation, and new use cases. Just the beginning to unfold. Meanwhile, Stellar Org wraps up as well. We're going to miss you. We always have next year, though, right? Thank you to everyone who attended Meridian this year. It was wonderful to feel the passion and love. Until next time.
So Meridian 2024 is over. Thanks to everyone who came. We had an amazing time. If you want to share content, make sure to tag Meridian 2024 to share all the wonderful photos and content that you guys have. We're so happy. We're so thrilled. It has been the biggest event so far, and we are just all so grateful to you. So see you next year.
We got Ripple Mercado Bitcoin Executive Chairman and Ripple Head of Payment Product Management sat down for a fireside chat to discuss the recently announced Mercado Bitcoin partnership, cross-border payments, and digital asset innovation in Brazil. Ripple swell.
What do you think makes the Brazilian market specifically unique? Why is it so forward-thinking in the context of financial innovation?
We are the largest economy in Latin America. GDP 2023 was more than $2 trillion. Really in a different path in crypto is the regulatory very constructive and positive approach. So we see stablecoins as a very good case for US dollar and euro, gold, and any other coin exposure, and also to access US dollar yields through stablecoin yields or even tokenization of US collateral being distributed in Brazil.
Another one from Ripple. Global banks are evolving to meet the demands of custody and security. In this Ripple Swell panel, Thomas Sullivan describes how they're adapting to enhance protection and managing risk in today's complex financial landscape.
There is a legacy of trust that we've been able to build and establish with customers. And you need to have trust. You need to trust your parties, whether it be your technology providers, whether it be your custodians. That's what we're definitely seeing, is that customers want to be able to, have responsible parties that they can interact with, that they can, have that established trust. Most institutions' assets are in traditional finance today. And you want to have the experience where, you can see all of your assets in one place and, have that seamless experience.
Crypto scams are evolving, but so are the strategies to avoid them. We got Deborah McCrimmon, VP and Deputy General Counsel at Ripple, was joined by Philip Martin, Chief Security Officer at Coinbase, to discuss the importance of continued education, share key tips of protecting yourself against scams. Ripple Swell.
If you're in a position where you're investigating these scams, you have so much more information available to you, both individually on an individual transaction and in an aggregate basis, because the more assets are involved in investigation, the more the law enforcement is going to pursue that investigation. We can go and look at the volume of transactions, where they're going. We can make some assumptions about, is this address illicit or is it not? Try doing that with the US dollar economy. Unless you're making very, very significant assumptions, you will have a hard time getting to a data-backed percentage of illicit activity.
Eleanor Terrell, we got round 2 tonight. Bad Man Bag Ladies, debate night, round 2 between Senator Warren and Deaton for Senate tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Who's tuning in? What crypto questions do you think will be asked? We got Elizabeth Warren getting cooked. U.S. Senate debate round 2. Get them, Deaton. Bloomberg Crypto Ripple President Monica Long discusses crypto uncertainty and says that the SEC, Gary Gensler, has been on warpath for years.
How much uncertainty is there left? Because when I think across the landscape of uncertainties, the list is long. It ranges from stablecoins to exchanges. What concerns you the most?
So looking globally, many countries are getting it right, and they're leading the way. So take Brazil, Singapore, Hong Kong, UK, Europe. Europe created a framework called MiCA that brought together 27 different states to create a clear framework of how to regulate crypto assets and their use cases. In the US, you see a lot of chaos and confusion. So we would really like to see more leadership out of our policymakers in Congress. You have regulators like the CFTC who are really leaning in to understand and take a position on some of these, the technology and some of their use cases, publishing a paper on DeFi. And then on the other side, you have the SEC who has taken, frankly, Chair Gary Gensler has just been on a warpath for a number of years now with just through enforcement actions and not really providing any regulatory clarity.
I hear warpath and I think to myself, at the same time, over the last year, we've seen ETF products allowed in the US for Ether and for Bitcoin. So it doesn't necessarily, to me, look like an administration or an SEC that has been really hostile to crypto. What would you say to somebody who comes back at you with that argument?
We have the court system to thank for that. The SEC really was painted into a corner there. And we have seen U.S. courts through a number of cases, in the case of Grayscale's case on the ETF, providing a way forward. In the case of the SEC versus Ripple, again, last year, the U.S. courts ruled that XRP is not a security. So that's good. That creates clarity for our industry and for our business.
CoinDesk private cryptography keys, for example, will eventually be broken by a quantum machine. So how do you make sure that you build these systems to be quantum proof for the future?
Quantum computing, there is your private cryptography keys, for example, will eventually be broken by a quantum machine. There is no doubt about it, right? So how do you make sure that you build these systems to be quantum proofed for the future. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're running a blockchain now and you have the need to have that data private, right? So maybe you're using, ZK proofs technology or something else, and you need to have that data private for, 10, 20 years. If quantum computing comes and breaks that data, that private key, you have a problem. So this is why PCQA and other leaders in the organization are getting together to come up with these ways to make sure that post-quantum computing won't break the private keys. And if they do, what are the practices to make sure that you're fixing them before going into production?
Your crypto keys aren't safe. Eventually, quantum computers will be able to break the code. Enter Ripple custody. CNBC on Ripple exchange partners for stablecoins launch RLUSD. Ripple awaits NYDFS approval.
The XRP token announced the exchanges that will help it distribute its new stablecoin. In a press release out on Tuesday, Ripple laid out some of its exchange partners, including Bitstamp, MoonPay, and Bullish, among others, who will distribute Ripple USD. The firm announced back in April that it was launching a stablecoin that would be pegged to the US dollar. The move would pit Ripple against giants like Tether's USDT and Circle's USDC, along with payment firm PayPal's stablecoin PYUSD. Back when Ripple announced plans to launch a stablecoin, Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, said he wasn't deterred by the competition and that the market will look different in the future. Now, yesterday, CoinDesk also reported that Ripple is awaiting regulatory approval from the New York Department of Financial Services before it launches Ripple USD.
XRP drops. I think you're going to have a lot of winners in the crypto world. I believe very much in a multi-chain world, and XRP will, I think, clearly be one of those winners in that ecosystem. Thinking crypto, big Brad Garlinghouse.
I think you're going to have a lot of winners in the crypto world. I believe very much in a multi-chain world, and XRP will, I think, clearly be one of the winners in that ecosystem.
Jim Knox, we were minting 20% of all USDC, Brad Garlinghouse, but people still say there's no demand.
Ripple has been using stablecoins in our payment flows for years, and you've used Tether, we've used USDC. There's actually a point in time where our institutional flows represented 20, because of that, we were minting 20% of all USDC. And so we're kind of looking at that. And then we look at what happened during the banking crisis where USDC depegged by 7%. And, I kind of came to the conclusion there's an opportunity here, given that we are driving a lot of activity, a lot of velocity, a lot of liquidity, and the fact, frankly, that we have a very strong balance sheet. We felt like there was an opportunity for Ripple to play in this market.
CoinDesk, Paxos co-founder, stablecoins have the ability to create universal access for dollars.
I think stablecoins can do two things. One is democratize access to dollars. Everybody wants dollars. Dollars move basically like mail in the post office right now. And but everyone wants a dollar. They want to be able to have it move 24/7 instantaneously, low cost, programmable. And if you look around the world, more people have smartphones than have bank accounts. Which is also kind of completely crazy, really, at this day and age. Smartphones have been around for 15 years. Banks have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, but it's not creating universal access. Stablecoins have that ability to create universal access for dollars. And also, you can start to have yield where you pass on the T-bill return that's backing a stablecoin, and you can democratize access to interest. And I think that's very, very powerful for people who live in currencies and countries where there is a lot of destabilization in terms of the value, but also the inability to have what is very safe yield that you're generating.
Watcher guru Justin, Bank of America warns that gold may be the final safe haven as U.S. Treasuries face risk from rising national debt. Bag ladies, we got Fruition Productions' new XRP Unleashed merch has hit our websites and prep for tomorrow's premiere ticket sales. Also, be on the lookout tonight for the pre-sale tickets dropping around 6 p.m. Make sure to follow Fruition Films over on X. Also, check out fruitionproductions.com. Check out all the latest merch. Also, be on the lookout tonight around 6 p.m. for the pre-sale tickets to drop. fruitionproductions.com. Fruition Films on X. With that being said, Batman Bag Ladies, to close out, heartfelt congrats to Lobster, Script3, and Allbridge IO on receiving the first annual Stellar I3 Awards, recognizing your impact, determination, and commitment. With that being said, Batman Bag Ladies, it looks like the SEC has another chance, midnight, October 18th, 11:59 p.m. to drop the repeal. Also, SEC claims that the pill is proceeding normally, and the documents filed will be publicly soon. TikTok, where will those bags be when that regulation jar molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? Big bags. Later glitches.
Welcome to the party, we don't play around here.